Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the DeathAdder version 3 Pro. Since I've used this for about a month now and I've been using it on and off, playing CSGO, Apex Legends, and Minecraft and stuff like that. And I'm going to have to say that almost nothing has changed from my first impressions. It still feels basically just as good. And I say basically because I do have one problem that I will get into. But first of all, let's talk about everything else with the mouse. The texture is still a little bit weird for me. However, I've gotten used to it and it feels pretty nice on the hand now. The clicks still feel the exact same. There's still no grinding when I bottom out the switches. It still feels very, very good. Very tactile. Kind of mushy, but you would expect that with opticals. However, opticals definitely will improve in terms of feeling in the future, and probably even on Razer's own mice in the future, so I would, I would like to point that out. And another thing is the side buttons also feel very good. They have a little bit of post-travel, but I don't mind that because I don't use side buttons that much except for just voice chat and game. And the scroll wheel also feels pretty good as well. It is a little bit like loose in comparison to like others where it's like, it's like a little bit it's like very easy to scroll, which is like a difference from other mice, but it still feels very good and it is still decently tactile because it has pretty decently well-defined steps. And also the shape is actually pretty good for my hands since I've gotten used to ergo mice, since I went back to the ergo mice, because I did use ergo mice before, but I took a break from ergo mice, went a year without, and went to symmetrical, and then I'm back to ergo, and this actually fits relaxed claw extremely well. And I have about medium-sized hands. I have 19 times 9 centimeter hands, and this fits my hand very well. And yeah, it's just very, very easy to glide as well. The skates are very good. If you do want like different skates, then you can go for it. But I would say the default skates that come with the mouse are still pretty good. And also the sensor performance and the click latency is obviously very good. I don't have like a tester to like really test this out in extensive detail, but I've had no like skipping issues with the sensor, nothing like that I had on my Ninjutsu Sora. And yeah, it still glides extremely well, as I said, and no sensor skipping, none of that. It performs very, very well. However, I have developed one issue with this mouse that is very common on this mouse and other Razer mice, to come to think of it, but it is the sidewall flexing. And this is going to be kind of hard to show, but I think you could see it from this angle. If I kind of put some pressure on the side, it flexes in. And keep in mind, this is only after a month of use, so this probably will get worse over time, which is just disappointing because $150, Razer really does need to improve the structural integrity of this mouse if you're paying $150 for it. Like, come on. I know the plastic is very high quality, but I would sacrifice a few grams just to have the structural integrity of them, just to have a structurally sound product, just to have a very, very, like, quality and not, like, side flexing everywhere product. Because, yeah, the walls on this mouse, in terms of the plastic, is pretty thin, which is causing this flexing, which is kind of annoying. And, again, this could get worse over time, which is a bummer. And another thing that is a huge issue, which is a way bigger issue than just the side flex, because that's really not something you can really notice in game unless it really has developed over time, is the skipping scroll wheel issue. However, fortunately, I've not had this issue yet, and I hopefully will never get this issue. But I have heard that it is an issue with some copies, and that's just a shame, because this does use top-of-the-line specs. However, I don't know what's wrong with the encoder or anything like that, but it does randomly skip, which is just extremely annoying. Hopefully Razer fixes this with just an updated encoder on future mice, or just a firmware update. And yeah, that's basically it. I basically ran over everything. I basically just talked about everything, and also the dongle is pretty chunky, but yeah, rather than that, this is a very good mouse for the price, and the charging as well. I forgot to talk about that. The battery life is good. Like, it isn't, like, gonna be as good as, like, for example, like a G Pro X or anything like that. I don't have a G Pro X, but from battery testing, it's insane, and I have heard that it's basically untouched in terms of battery life, even with mice nowadays. But yeah, it's still very good battery life, and it still charges decently fast, just plugged into my PC. but it will probably charge faster if you obviously use like a wall outlet or anything like that. But yeah, the battery life really isn't that bad, and with 4K, it will be pretty bad. But if you want the best performance out of your mouse and you don't really care about battery life a whole lot, then yeah, go for it. But yeah, that's basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.